OMG, it's in.
Hi, what is your name?
Mandie May.
And where were you at on 9/11?
I was in Chattanooga.
What were you doing at that time?
I was sleeping.
You were sleeping. Were you woken up at all by the news? Did someone wake you up?
I was. My parents called me.
And what was your reaction to that news?
It was very scary.
It was scary. Would you elaborate on how it made you felt more?
Well, we all at the time felt like we were under attack. It wasn't just that was going to be it and done. We didn't know what was going to happen. So we all felt like we were all being attacked.
Did you feel like Chattanooga with its nuclear power plant, did you feel like it would have been attacked as well?
We did. That was a thought that crossed everybody's mind. And at the time, I had two small kids and I was pregnant with my third child. So yeah, it was very scary.
Did you know anyone in New York at the time that might have been in the towers?
I did not.
How do you feel about our nation and other leaders coming together after September 9/11? How did you feel about that?
I think that they should have. I think that they did good. And they should come together and work.
What do you think the passengers, the airlines, the airport authorities, and the other officials should play in travel security? In your opinion, what, if anything else, should be done to promote security in travel?
Mm. I think that they should have and always they should and should have always been more secure on what people take. I think they went a little too extreme as far as certain liquids only being 3.6 ounces, stuff like that. It's made it very difficult to travel, especially for women, as far as shampoos and stuff like that in that nature. Um, but I do believe that that the strictness should definitely still be there, that they should check everybody's luggages, the content. If anybody has a gut feeling, always go with your gut feeling. But I think everybody, including stewardess, have that if you gut instinct, and I think that they should go on it. And I think we worry too much about people's feelings being hurt. Everybody's different, so therefore you can, if anybody's singled out, they can say it's because of their color, their race, their anything. And so instead of worrying about offending people, if you have that instinct or if there is a thing, it's better to be safe than sorry. And they should uphold that, being instead of offended. I'd want you to, if there was a discretion, double check anybody, because you just never know.
So you would say the majority over the minority?
Of course.
And what aspects of the American life do you think were changed after 9/11?
I think it made everybody look at their neighbors different, because these were people's neighbors. They were living amongst us. And I think it made us people cautious, more cautious. I think a lot of people were afraid to fly. Um, but I think, in a way, it was good. I think that Americans, all from the White House down, has let their guard down, and I think that it shows them that we are just as able for anybody to attack us as well as we attack them. So.
Do you think that all the airlines should have been shut down afterwards, right when this happened?
Yes, of course.
What were your thoughts of the killing of Osama bin Laden?
I think he should have been killed. No doubt.
Can you elaborate more on why you think he should have been killed or was killed?
He killed many of us, many Americans, many amongst us, women, men, children. And I think that for the acts that he has done amongst this nation, I believe that we were right by killing him.
Whenever you watch videos from 9/11, do you relive the situation? Does it bring back memories and
Doesn't bring back, so to speak, memories because fortunately for me, I was not in the middle of all the crisis, but it brings back the sadness and the emotions of watching that and seeing, knowing other families were going through that, and I cannot imagine what those people were going through, seeing people jumping out of stories of high up, just, I cannot imagine it, and I relive it in the moment of the sadness, but I remember holding my kids tight and just and praying, but as far as being in the middle of it, I was not. So I know some people watch it, and I know some that can't because it was so close to home to them. So
but going back to the security issue, do you feel like you said you picked the majority over the minority? Going back to racism, do you feel like that if a cop has seen a Muslim, do you think if he felt that way, do you think he should still be searched because of his race? If the cop had that gut feeling that he should search him?
if he had that gut feeling, but not solely because of his race, there are amongst us. It does not matter their race, their whether it's Caucasian, African American. It doesn't matter if they're Puerto Rican, Mexican. There are terrorism in all of it.
In your own opinion, are there any lessons that could be learned from September 9/11?
Yes, never have your guard down. Never let your guard down, especially when it comes to flying. The Depending on what you're doing, people sadly nowadays that you just can't leave your front door open while you're watching TV or while you're in the backyard. It's sad, but that is what it's come down. We've learned a sad lesson that you cannot always trust 100% people. You just don't know them like we should, and you can only know so much about somebody, and people can hide deep things from us. So yeah, always keep your guard up. I always keep my guard up.
On the last note, do you think 9/11 could have been prevented with tighter security? Or not just prevented, but do you think something could have happened where the planes never landed where they landed? Do you think they could have been taken down beforehand?
I'm not sure if I think that it could have been. I do believe if we had tighter security, they probably would not have gotten on the plane with what they did. Um, I think that definitely it could have been avoided. Um, there are many things that we let go. There are many the security all around, across the borders, across airlines, across many things. I think that yes, it could have been avoided if we'd always had a tighter, more secure structure.